Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching again. We had a great gathering last week for our small group leader meeting that we're doing monthly now. We talked about our mission and vision for student ministry that we created just over a year ago. And I heard some great feedback from some of you guys about the why you do student ministry and why do we do student ministry together. And the mission and vision for us is to connect all students with God so that they experience His love and change the world around them. We do a great job at that. But the all students part of that gives us a job to do. We still have work to do. We still have students that we want to reach. We still have adults that we want to connect into positive relationships with students. So that's our mission and vision. That's why we do what we do. And we had a great conversation about that. Now, we also looked at some tips and tricks during that meeting to be safe with students anytime you meet up with students for counseling or for advice, and safety on social media because we live in the social media world. This week, I want to encourage you, in the middle of crazy school schedules, to try to take a little time, even if it's only for a quick Starbucks meetup, to get your group together informally. Trunk or Treat's a great opportunity to build a trunk together and to gather at that event that we've got going on here at Anona. Or this Monday, we've got our Village in Spirit Night from 5 to 9, and that's another great opportunity to gather your families together, and it's really easy. For Village In, we show up, we got everything going, we've got your dinner plans covered. Just tell your group to meet you there at a certain time. It's a great time together just to gather informally. And I know life is crazy, but if you can throw something simple together with your group, it will, in return, impact your group time on Sunday nights as well. Now, I'm going to be out of town with my family this week, so I'll definitely miss you all, but check out the email for who to contact while I'm away. Faniel's going to be the one giving the message this week at youth group, and Stuart will be the host for the night at dinner and getting the game started and everything. If you would, help them out this week and help get us a better handle on the side conversations that happen while anyone is trying to give direction or communicate to the group. That would be really helpful for us if we would partner together and help those side conversations be diminished when we're given instructions. Now this week, we're in week 2 of Power Play. Now I wish I had the power to make everyone like me, and that's kind of what we're talking about this week. And now, if we didn't have to deal with that stress anymore, not having to worry about what people are wearing or what I'm wearing, not have to worry about impressing another person or a group of people, think about what it would be like if you messed up or failed and still knew people would like you. Now, even if you say you don't spend effort on that, and I know some of our students say that, I want to push that a little bit and say, well, really? Like, it's hard not to think about what other people think about you. Let's be honest this week. Now, whether you realize it or not, so much of our effort and energy every day goes towards wondering what other people think about us, especially the right people. And though you probably never thought about it before, each one of us and each one of our groups has a social ladder. And if we're really honest, we spend a lot of our time and energy trying to figure out where we fit on that ladder. We're all measuring our standing with everyone else and figuring out how we can keep from losing our position. And the truth is, we all care about this kind of stuff. Whether it's you at your jobs or students at school, even those of us who say we don't really care about what other people think, we care. We just don't like to admit it. Now, I want you to know you're not alone. No one has this kind of power. Taylor Swift, LeBron James, they don't have that kind of power to make everybody like them. Even Jesus, the Son of God, didn't always have the best social standing with everybody. There were people who, no matter what Jesus did or said, were not going to like him. But even though not everyone liked Jesus, he left us with incredible example of using our power, and a power that all of us have. This power, when you use it, is limitless. Jesus demonstrates this power in an incredible way in John 13. The story takes place on the night that Jesus was arrested. Now, before all of that went down, he gathered all of his disciples together in a room for a final meal together. And at this meal, Jesus did something that shocked everyone. But before we tell our students and before I tell you what he did, I want you to hear what one of the guys there, John, said about Jesus. Because John gives us this incredible insight and explains exactly why what Jesus does is so amazing. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power and that he had come from God and was returning to him. And this is John 13, verse 3. Now this verse is so powerful because John is telling us that Jesus truly was the most powerful person in the universe. Jesus knew it, and he legitimately had superhuman powers. Now, Jesus responded a little differently. Knowing full well the extent of his massive and impressive and an unstoppable power, this is what Jesus does in response to what John says. So Jesus got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, wrapped a towel around his waist, and after that he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. It's verses 4 and 5, right after what John says about him. Are you kidding me? All the power in the world to do anything, and what does Jesus do? He doesn't zap his friends who were going to betray him. He doesn't make himself invisible to the guards so he wouldn't be able to be arrested. He washed his disciples' feet. When Jesus asked himself the question, what do I do with the power I have? His answer was to wash his disciples' feet. In other words, his answer was to serve. We all have social power with someone and over someone. Think about it. Chances are there's someone somewhere who is influenced by you. Anytime you have influence, that's power. Anytime someone looks up to you or cares about your opinion at all, that's power. The question is, for you, the same as it was for Jesus. What do I do with the power I have? And what Jesus is demonstrating to them and to us is this: the best use of the power we have, even when it's only a little power, is to serve those around us. You know this already. I bet you can think of a time when someone served you, someone who didn't have to, someone who didn't owe you anything. They went out of their way to do something for you. And what did you think about that person afterwards? Did you like them less or more? Did you care more or less about their opinion? Obviously, the answer is more. When you use your influence to benefit someone else, it only gives you more influence. Your power is multiplied. What would it look like for you to do this? For you to use the power that you have to serve others. Obviously, it would be weird if you started washing people's feet, but what could you do? How could you leverage your influence to make someone else look good? You know how that feels when it happens to you. A simple compliment can change your whole entire day, maybe your whole week. You can have that kind of power for someone else too. Remember this: big power comes from small acts. What would it look like if you did this just for 1 week? What would happen with your friends or at your school or leaders at your place of work? And it may feel like no big deal when you choose to serve. You're following the example of the most influential person that ever walked the earth. And becoming more like him is the most powerful play you can ever make. So that's what we're talking about this week, of serving others. And it takes small acts to gain more power and more influence. And those little things give us influence and buy-in to our friendships and relationships. So this Sunday, we'll see you at 4:45 out in the room 110. Faniel will be leading that time together with you guys as small group leaders to share some wins, share some prayer requests, and really get pumped for a great Sunday night together talking about serving and the way that when we serve, we gain influence and power in our relationships. That might be a new thought for you. It might be a new thought for some of our students. Hopefully it is. And my hope and prayer is that you can walk away from Sunday night knowing something new and different about the God that created us and wired us with limitless power. So have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.